See if it works. Is that okay? Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Marilyn Keiffaber. Most of you know me. Those of you that are here, I think, know. Some of you out there know me too. I work part-time, mostly in healthcare in Crestwood. Thanks to Jeanette for that music. Isn't it interesting how we hear those old hymns and the words just come into our minds? And I heard Jeanette singing a little bit, and I was singing behind my mask too, to some of those good old songs. And Tim Ritchie Martin is handling our sound this morning. Thanks to Tim and Jeanette for being here and helping with this service. So, happy April 1st. There's kind of a joke on me this morning. It's April Fool's Day, you know. And as I was planning this, I was planning to say, did you notice all that snow that fell last night? Well, guess what? sort of April Fool on me, on all of us. There's the snow. It's still coming down. Not a whole lot, but maybe it's our last snow, do you think? I hope so. Anyway, there, we can be thankful there's not a whole lot, at least, on this cold Friday morning. It's April Fool's Day, and today is a day to joke and laugh. I've chosen a particular verse from Proverbs for the meditation this morning. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine." Some of you, I can see, remembered that today is called, here at Timbercrest, Wear Something Silly Day. That's why I have on the particular t-shirt I have on. You probably can't see the whole thing, but I'll show you and tell you about it in a minute. So the Timberline, note in the Timberline said, wear a silly hat or socks or mismatched clothes or something that might make people smile or laugh when they see you. Today, I was thinking that a while back there was kind of a fad. People started wearing pajamas to the store or wherever you'd see them wearing their pajamas. So there's a lot of things that make you kind of look at somebody and smile or laugh. So if you haven't done it already, some of you here have, I see, that's good. Find something in your closet that looks a little silly and that might make people smile or laugh when they see you today. I have on a rather silly shirt that I bought the day after I got home from National Older Adult Conference several years ago. I'm going to stand aside so you can see it. I love my crazy husband. I love my crazy husband. A big, big heart stands for love. And he's here, right here in the front row. So a bunch of us went to this conference, NOAC, in North Carolina on the Timbercrest coach. This was a number of years ago. Brian Daniels drove us. My husband, Alan, and I always see quite a few people we know at this Brethren conference. Several times that week, old friends of Alan asked me, "How do you put up with that crazy husband of yours?" Some of you who know Alan, you might imagine why they might say such a thing. We got home late on a Friday night that September. The next day, Alan and I went to a street festival in Rowan. Under a huge tent, there were all these t-shirts for sale, saying things like, "I love my crazy wife. I love my crazy husband. I love my crazy daughter. I love my crazy son." All kinds of people. Anyway, I showed Alan and I said, I'm going to buy one of those shirts. So that's when I got my shirt that says, "I love my crazy husband." I don't wear it very often, but when I do, sometimes people look at it and smile or laugh. So I decided today was a good day to wear this silly shirt. It's about the silliest thing that I have to wear, I think, and it generally brings a smile. Proverbs has a lot of wise sayings. This is one of them. Sense of humor is a kind of saving grace in the midst of so many things that happen in our lives. Laughter is a kind of medicine, as it says in Proverbs. There's a saying I see on Facebook from time to time. "Blessed are those who can laugh at themselves, for they shall be endlessly amused." My husband was a pastor for 43 years. I used to tell him, "You need to tell at least one good joke in every sermon. Some people won't remember anything else. And a really good pastor can tell stories that make you smile and even laugh out loud while telling you something that's really important." In Crestwood, we sometimes have a time for telling jokes. We have one resident especially in Crestwood who tells jokes and keeps us laughing. Another resident in Crestwood used to tell the same joke over and over. He would say, "I used to play the trombone, but I let it slide." Mostly he doesn't remember that now, but occasionally during our joke telling, we remind him that he used to play the trombone, which actually he did. And then he remembers to tell the second part of that joke, the punchline. I let it slide. He smiles when he remembers that, and we smile with him. Laughter can be healing. It's a wonderful way to diffuse tension. Even in the midst of grief, humorous stories about the person we've lost can sometimes bring comfort as our tears turn to laughter. Years ago, there was a memorial service here at Timbercrest, right here in this room, that I will never forget. This longtime Brethren pastor made a friend of his promise to tell a particular story about him at his funeral. It seems that years before, he was preparing for a baptism at his church in Fort Wayne. He filled the baptistry with water on Saturday evening in preparation for the baptism at church the next day. He got up early that Sunday morning and went to the church, only to find that the baptistry had overflowed and flooded the whole sanctuary. He realized that he had turned the handle the wrong way. Instead of turning the water off, the sanctuary was flooded. Well, talk about an embarrassing mistake. In retrospect, it became almost a comedy. I don't know exactly how he handled that flood at the time. They did say the insurance paid for new carpet, so that was good. In any case, what a sense of humor that man had to make his friend promise that he would tell that story at his funeral. We all had to laugh. I did not really know him, but I admire him greatly. He could laugh at himself. The tears in that memorial service turned to laughter that day. I'm sure that that's what he wanted. I read a quote that said, laughter allows us to see situations in a new light. It may not solve our problems, but it can become an important coping mechanism as we face obstacles. Some of you may remember Norman Cousins. Years ago, he was the editor of the Saturday Review and also a strong peace and justice advocate. He faced a diagnosis of serious illness in the 1960s when he was only about 60. One way he tried to cope with his pain and illness was by watching funny movies. Here's what he said about it. I made the joyous discovery that 10 minutes of genuine belly laughter had an anesthetic effect and would give me at least 2 hours of pain-free sleep. When the pain-killing effect of the laughter wore off, we would switch on the motion picture projector again, and not infrequently our laughter would lead to another pain-free interval. Norman Cousins lived many years longer. He died in 1990. And he wrote a book in 1979 called Anatomy of an Illness. It's about how laughter, partly about how laughter helped him heal. Some of you may have seen that book or even read it. Of course, not all illness can be cured with laughter. It's hard to have a merry heart in the midst of so much that's happening in our world and in our lives. But I want you to think today of things that you're thankful for. It's April. I'm looking out the window and seeing the snow is stopping. That's good. Spring is here, even if it doesn't feel like it today. So that's something to smile about. Winter is over. Spring is here. Think about things that make you smile or laugh. Look in your closet and see if there's something you might put on that will make you smile, that might make others who see you also smile or laugh. Remember what it says in Proverbs, a merry heart does good like a medicine. And today is Wear Something Silly Day here at Timbercrest. This is short. Maybe that's okay. Let's have a prayer together before we end. Dear God, thank you for all the good gifts you've given us. Help us to remember to be thankful and to find things every day to smile and laugh about, especially today. Help us to have merry hearts as we wait for the wonderful gift of spring, which will bring warmth and flowers and sunshine, which is sure to come soon. Amen.